Good morning, friends. Today we are going to learn third part of our part B of module number 5th, that is preparation for England by M.K. Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi. In the last lecture we learned that how Mahatma Gandhi is going to England for further studies. First of all, as written in your textbook, the paragraph begins, that is, how he passed his matriculation examination in 1887 and decided to go to Samaldas College, that is, and he goes there and can't cope up with the situations, that is, he could not follow the lectures and he never understand the lectures, and he came back and he frankly admit that he was so raw to learn those studies. And afterwards, their family friend, Mahatma Gandhi's father's friend, Mauji Dave, who is called as a Joshiji, come to their home and give advice to Mahatma Gandhi's elder brother and mother to send Mahatma Gandhi to England for the education of law. He thought that he should become Diwan and try to become economically very balanced, and he gave the reference of his son Keval Ram and how he convinced that after 4 to 5 years he will only take BA degree and qualify him for a 60 rupees post, not for a diwanship. And if he, Mahatma Gandhi, go for particular education of law, he will get the diwanship, and he was very much a reputed person in his society, and he gave Mauji Dave, that is Joshiji, gave example of his son Keval Ram that it is very easy to become barrister in 3 years. So, and the expenses will not exceed 4 to 5,000 rupees. Afterwards, Joshiji went and there is a discussion between Mahatma Gandhi and his brother. Mahatma Gandhi willing to go for the medical profession, but his brother interrupted, and he said, father never like to go for medical profession. So, next part we learn that how he convinced his mother that mother is very much possessive for son Mahatma Gandhi, and now he went to Mr. Lely at Porbandar for the inquiry of England education in England. He think that he might help him. But Mr. Lely, who is the administrator at Porbandar, who said to him, I am not sure whether it is possible for one to stay in England without prejudice to one's own religion. And he said, now that is how Mr. Lely denied and said that he will come after completion of the BA. But Mr. Gandhi want to go to England. Now here we can understand how he is struggling for going to England, and he thinks about how much money should require for going to England, and his mother create doubts about the culture, traditions and behavior of Englishmen. Here we can understand how he said that I I shall now try to win my mother over, and he said to his mother that I will live there as we live in India. After that, he wrote Mr. Lely and he said, pass your BA first and then see me. No help can be given you now. So here he never discouraged for going to England. Now he think about wife's ornaments that money requires for that going to England. Now he returned to Rajkot from Porbandar after Mr. Lely's visit and reported all that had happened. He consulted Joshiji, who of course advised even incurring a debt if necessary. I suggested the disposal of my wife's ornaments, which could fetch about 2 to 3,000 rupees. My brother promised to find the money somehow. So here we can understand how Mahatma Gandhi preparing to go to London and his mother still unwilling. She had begun making minutes in inquiry, and Mahatma Gandhi said, I shall not lie to you. I swear that I shall not touch any of those things. If there were any such danger, would Joshiji let me go? Now, mother said, I can trust you, but how can I trust you in a distant land? I am dazed and know not what to do. I will ask Becharji Swami. Now, the character introduced that is Becharji Swami, who is actually Amod Baniya, a shopkeeper, but had now become a Jain monk. He too was a family advisor like Joshiji. He came to my help and said, I shall get the boy solemnly to take the 3 oaths and then he can be allowed to go. He administered the oath, and I vowed not to touch wine, woman, and meat. This done, my mother gave her permission. The high school had a send off in my honor. It was an uncommon thing for a young man of Rajkot to go to England. I had written out a few words of thanks, but I could scarcely stammer them out. I remember how my head reeled and how my whole frame shook as I stood up to read them. With the blessing of my elders, I started for Bombay. This was my first journey from Rajkot to Bombay. My brother accompanied me, but there is many asleep, twigs, the cup and the lip. There were difficulties to be faced in Bombay. So here we can understand how Mahatma Gandhi preparing for going to England for the further education. First part, he left Samardas College due to his poor knowledge in that particular field. After that, Mauji Dave, the second part, we can say that he advised his family, elder brother and mother, send Mahatma Gandhi to England for the education of law to become a barrister. Third part, how the discussion between mother, elder brother, and Mahatma Gandhi about going to London, the culture, the the culture of culture of England, again the behavior of the people and their tradition also. And after that, Mr. Joshiji advised him to go to Mr. Lely for the help, but Mr. Lely denied to help him, and now Mahatma Gandhi again struggling for go to England. He prepared economically as well, and he has lots of problem for preparing to go to England. After that, mother tried to he tried to convince his mother, and he said Becharji Swami, who is the family friend of Mahatma Gandhi, Becharji Swami give owe to him that not to touch wine, woman, and meat, and his mother permitted him, give permission to go to England. And after that, there is a send off from the school of Mahatma Gandhi to go to England, and there is a first journey started from Rajkot to England. That is, first of all, he is going to Bombay, and from Bombay, he is going to England. And next part is in the book autobiography, that is, experiments of the truth. So, if you are that much interested in the story, read out the autobiography of Mahatma Gandhi, that is, the name of his short that my experiments with truth, and try to learn the humility and truthfulness, the characteristics of Mahatma Gandhi. Try to follow those characteristics. So, in the next lecture, we will discuss the objectives from this textbook, and we will stop here for today. There are questions in your textbook. Go through those questions and the objectives as well. See the glossary and notes from your textbook. There are scheming and scanning questions. Prepare for those questions for your objective type questions. There are again multiple choice questions and comprehension questions. Try to answer those questions. Write down those answers in your notebook. So, in the next lecture, we will discuss the remaining part of it. Till then, we will stop here.